And so Liz Plank was a perfect person for them to go after because first and foremost, if you don't know anything about her, I had never heard her name before this scandal. She's kind of branded herself as like the ultimate feminist.
Didn't know who she was. This was her first movie, and I was singled out as you treated her like a fan, and then I was dressed down afterwards, which could have been a career ender because when you're an intern, you're the most dispensable person on the project.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And these.
In a bold and explosive move, conservative firebrand Candace Owens has allegedly leaked a list tying several supposed victims to Hollywood star Blake Lively. The revelation has rattled the entertainment world, igniting fierce speculation about the gravity of the claims and the shadows they may cast on Lively's past. Owens, never one to shy away from controversy, suggests the list could unearth buried truths that challenge Lively's public image. As the dust begins to stir, all eyes are on the fallout. What was revealed, and could this shake the foundation of Lively's career for good?
Plank was the co-host of the Man Enough podcast alongside Justin Baldoni. And then, as soon as Blake Lively filed her complaint, Liz Plank was out, instantly said she quit, a show of support and solidarity with Blake after everything dropped. And people began looking into it. And particularly there was this TikToker, Steph with the Deets, who had showed that perhaps the reason that motivated her to get on the side of Blake Lively without actually looking into anything, or at least speaking to her co-host and hearing his side of things, may have been what we have discovered since, a repeat sort of Ryan Reynolds psychopathic strategy of essentially love bombing.
Now other footage is coming out of Blake Lively admitting, hey, when I get involved with projects, they hire me as the actress, and sometimes I don't really tell them, but I actually want to come in and I want to rewrite it, and I want to be a producer, and I want to do all of these things. She's literally admitted all of this blatantly. This is just the first time that it's ended up.
How old is Blake Lively, by the way?
30s, I believe.
34. How much longer do you think Ryan Reynolds sticks around with her?
Did any of you guys see Deadpool Wolverine at all? Yeah, so do you remember the scene where he's nice Paul and he's saying like, oh, she bounced back right after her pregnancy. It's okay, I can say that I'm a feminist. They're literally mocking Justin Baldoni.
The downfall of Blake is super important because it represents our collective awakening, specifically to celebrities that we should not be idolizing. And they hate that.
So do you feel free now to try everything? What is the next 5 years of, well, in terms of trying, do you
You see the movie.
I did see the movie. But I mean,
we're going to give you a pop quiz.
We're going to give you a pop quiz every minute of it.
Yeah.
In a resurfaced 2009 Glamour interview, Blake Lively admitted she initially tried to turn the Gossip Girl cast against Penn Badgley after learning he'd been cast, saying, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him. Her opinion, however, shifted fast. Within a week, she saw Bagley's sincerity and charm, realizing she'd misjudged him from the start.
A 2009 Glamour UK interview by Blake Lively, and in her interview, she admitted to trying to poison the cast of Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name, against her co-star Penn Badgley, who played her love interest, Dan Humphrey, on the show. She said, at first I was so upset that they had hired him, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him. And she goes on to say, but then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually a nice, charming person, and almost immediately I realized it too. But it took me about a week to admit it. And here's the thing. Reports were that Blake Lively and Leighton Meester, who played best friends on that show, were not friends during the 6-season run of the show. Leighton Meester and Penn Badgley and other Gossip Girl co-stars have remained silent in the wake of the Baldoni legal drama. Neither Meester nor Badgley follow Lively on
proof positive, or you know what, potentially proof positive, that there is a history of her doing this type of behavior, going out of her way to talk ish, put out rumors, say bad things, say negative things about other co-stars, either because she just is in her feelings about that person, not happy about that person being in the show, or because she feels, I don't know, maybe because she just wants to start drama for the sake of starting drama. I don't know what it is, but clearly we're seeing the embryo stage, like the embryostasis, or the embryo stage, the beginnings, right, of this whole thing to what it has flowered or blossomed into now.
However, co-star Taylor Momsen shared she had no bad memories of Penn Badgley, implying he was never a problem on set. Her neutral stance throws Blake Lively's past comments into question. Was Penn really an issue, or was Blake pushing her own biased narrative? If Taylor saw no red flags, it's possible Blake's actions were rooted more in personal feelings than any real misconduct.
I mean, but I don't have any bad memories of you, so that's good.
Great.
So that's bad memories of you. There you go.
And we'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it at that. No, I always had fun filming our scenes together, especially in the beginning. We worked a lot.
Totally.
Like
we worked a lot
together.
Yeah, actually, but you know, I mean, I'm almost like, by the end, we really didn't work together.
No,
at all.
No,
you were always doing crazy
storyline. I was off being a drug dealer and whatever else they were.
Jed Wallace, owner of a crisis mitigation firm, has filed a defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively, claiming she falsely accused him of running an online smear campaign that seriously damaged his reputation. This countersuit intensifies the already tangled web of legal drama surrounding Lively and Baldoni, adding yet another layer to the high-stakes public fallout.
I promise you, I've been trying to think of other things to talk about, but another day, another filing. And this actually has to do with one of the most interesting aspects of this entire case. Blake Lively is now being sued by Jed Wallace of Street Relations Inc. He has said that she has cost him millions of dollars in reputational harm and is suing her for defamation. Lively's counsel released a statement saying that this is just someone else that's trying to sue her into oblivion for speaking out, and that they are confident that this will get dismissed, which I find that to be really interesting because this is someone that they alleged in her original complaint was really responsible or had a part in allegedly the whole astroturfing, because they alleged that Wallace was responsible for planting negative comments and negative story, which Wallace has maintained that he had no part in any negative PR tactics against Lively. Which it was interesting that her defense basically was like, oh, this is nothing, it'll get dismissed, yada, 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 because in her filings, they said that Wallace was the one who weaponized a digital army. I don't know if that's a direct quote, but basically that it was either real accounts or possibly bot farms. I don't really know. I probably need to read that again. But basically that was orchestrated by Wallace and, you know, other members of Baldoni's team. Which, like, if I was naming someone who, like, had taken part in this, like, alleged astroturfing, I'd be like, yeah, see you in court. Can't wait to find out your method. I don't know. Maybe that's probably not the most professional response, which is also probably why I'm not a lawyer and I'm here on TikTok.
Blake Lively's legal filings cite a disturbing incident where she alleges a man entered her room uninvited while she was breastfeeding, but conflicting reports claim she had actually given him permission. This contradiction casts doubt on the accuracy of her account and highlights how easily facts can blur in high-pressure, emotionally charged situations.
Imagine for a second, you invite a man to your trailer, you're breastfeeding. You say, you can come in, but you got to turn around. So he, knock, knock, I'm here. Come on in. Turn around. He locks eyes with you. And the second it takes for him to turn around. And you add that to the lawsuit. Blake Lively. Gossip girl. You must be stopped. That man was standing and staring at the wall. Singing show tunes to himself for all we know, counting stars, counting specks of dust and paint. And you said that was sexual harassment. At this point, you gotta blame it on Ryan Reynolds. Say he wanted the idea for a movie. Say that he thought that it was gonna be a funny ha-ha-ha moment. You know how he jokes. Say we all know how he jokes because it's not working.
Reports allege that Blake Lively's behavior on the set of Asterisk, A Simple Favor Asterisk, was so toxic it pushed assistant director Barbara Seaman to resign, citing emotional distress caused by Lively's actions. As these accusations surface alongside ongoing legal battles, they raise serious doubts about Lively's professional conduct and how she treats those she works with.
Blake Lively was the reason an assistant director quit A Simple Favor. Allegedly, of course. And we learned this from Henry Golding's post. Henry Golding, who was in A Simple Favor, made a post with the poster for another Simple Favor. And under his post, Barbed Wire TV had commented, "I worked with you on the first one. My experience with everyone was absolutely amazing except for a certain someone who is the reason I quit being an AD. Guess who that person is? Wish you all the best with this though." And Barbed Wire TV went on to say, "I want to avoid attention around this, but I will say she was cruel to many. I know I cried my way home many nights because you try so hard to please someone who is never pleased and puts you down constantly. I can't believe it's actually getting back at her. Karma is real." And Barbed Wire TV, whose real name is Barbara Jaworski, definitely seems to work in like the production world. And for further proof, here's her IMDb. Seems to be under her maiden name. Says she's known for Barbed Wire TV, which obviously that's even her account name. Under projects, you'll see A Simple Favor. She was the 4th assistant director. So not only did we learn that she quit, but apparently she made many people cry behind the...
Another accuser, Jamie, recalled an incident from nearly 2 decades ago when she was a 20-year-old intern in the entertainment industry. Tasked with the simple job of handing out water bottles on set, she encountered a then 17-year-old Blake Lively promoting the sisterhood of the traveling pants.